Guess who is back? Me. So there's this popular forex trader called FX. He was picking his new car, which is a Porsche Cayenne S. And I just remember at some point I used to think that the Porsche Cayenne GTS is the top trim of the Cayennes until I discovered there are actually 5 levels or 5 trims of the Cayennes, and that is what we are going to explain in this video. But before we do that, can we jump back a little bit to history and check when was the Porsche Cayenne specifically introduced? The Cayenne SUV was introduced in 2002 as a Type 9 PA, and it was the first Porsche 5-door car, the first Porsche mass production car, the first Porsche SUV, and the first Porsche with off-road capabilities apart from the tractors they used to make back in the 1950s. The second generation was introduced in 2010, sharing a platform with Volkswagen Touareg and the Audi Q7. And in 2014, Porsche introduces a smaller brother to the Cayenne, which becomes now the Porsche Macan, to compete in the subcompact SUV segment. In this generation, we also see Cayenne introduce hybrid systems to the Cayenne's drivetrains. In 2017, the third generation is introduced, where we see the introduction of the coupe body style. Standard features for the Cayenne include LED headlights for the lower grades and matrix LED headlights for the higher grades. We are also seeing panoramic sunroof, sport exhaust, RS Spider alloy wheels starting from 20-inch for the lower grade and 21 inches for the higher grade. And then you have the 360-degree camera with the higher grades carrying 3D view of the camera. Heated seats, ventilated seats, massage seats for the higher grades. And then for the sound systems, we are seeing either the Bose sound system or the Burmester sound system. And we also have a power tailgate ile yenye unafinya kabaton mahali, and then the boot opens itself. Ambient lighting, stainless steel pedals, the PASM air suspension, which is Porsche Air Active Suspension Management System for air suspensions, specifically for the higher grades. We also have heated steering wheel and the head-up display, and you're getting AR head-up display in the higher trims. We're also seeing Porsche dynamic chassis control for the higher trims. Driver assist features are standard across all the trims, such as the lane keep assist, lane departure warning system, adaptive cruise control, parking sensors. All those ones are standard across all the trims. So what are the trim levels of the Cayenne? The Cayenne comes in 5 trim levels. At the bottom, we have the Cayenne base grade, which is a 3-liter turbocharged petrol engine producing 335 horses of power and 450 Newton meters of torque. And then we have the Cayenne e-hybrid, which is just a hybrid version of the base grade, producing 456 horses of power and then the 700 Newton meters of torque. The same engine size of 3-liter petrol turbocharged petrol engine. And then the third level is the Cayenne S. The Porsche Cayenne S uses a 2.9-liter twin turbocharged petrol engine, producing 434 horses of power and 500 Newton meters of torque. This is the same engine you're finding in the Audi RS5, just tuned differently for the Cayenne. And then we have the Cayenne GTS, which I used to think is the top trim, but not apparently. The Cayenne GTS is a 4-liter twin turbocharged petrol engine producing 480 horses of power, 620 Newton meters of torque. On top of the GTS, we have the Porsche Cayenne Turbo, still the same 4-liter twin turbocharged engine producing 550 horses of power and 770 Newton meters of torque. And then now the top trim, the creme de la creme of the Porsche Cayennes, is the Porsche Cayenne Turbo S e-hybrid. It's the same 4-liter twin turbocharged engine with a hybrid system, producing up to 671 horses of power and 900 Newton meters of torque. Massive power for an SUV. So you may ask, which one is for you? If you're looking for a daily driver, basic car that can do almost everything, drive almost every day, you can go for either the Porsche Cayenne base grade or the Porsche Cayenne S. But if you're looking for high-end power, high-end features, high-end everything, then you are going for the Porsche Cayenne Turbo SE Hybrid, and you're looking to spend almost 18 million shillings for such a unit. For the base grade, you're looking to spend around 7 million shillings. But I find the GTS to be a sweet spot for either to be such a sweet spot because it doesn't give you a lot of power that is unnecessary for the Kenyan roads, and it is not as slow as the base of the Cayenne S. That 4-liter turbocharged engine is going to be a very good sweet spot. Also, the GTS is a special trim because it has a specifically tuned chassis. Porsche calls it Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control. In terms of looks, you are getting a lowered ground clearance by around 20 millimeters, giving it a sportier stance. Even though it's an SUV, it gets a sportier stance, and also you are getting a lower center of gravity for epic performance.